Emperors, gladiators, and nearly 1,000 extras. We talked to Jana Carboni, makeup designer, and hair designer Guiliano Mariano about their immense work on Ridley Scott's Gladiator 2. How they were inspired by Fellini's Satyricon and the Sex Pistols, battling the heat and the elements to get Paul Mescal's gladiator tan and body paint just right, Denzel's manicured hands, and much more.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, and thank you for your beautiful work on this film. I want to start from the beginning. What were your conversations like with Ridley regarding his vision for the makeup and hair?
Well, we want to do something extremely different and new, and nothing close to the first one. So it was a totally brand new vision, and like Ridley doesn't like to repeat himself, and we don't like to repeat himself as well. So, so I think the starting point was about the decadence of the period of time in Rome. And bringing this up with actually working on the opulence, on the rich, and all the cosmetic side of the rich people, and the patrician, and then have something more extreme with the gladiators, all the grime and all the sweat and all the Jewish stuff. So we really want to give this kind of two extreme vision to look very, very, very different from each other, to give you a kind of sense of disparity between the two reality, basically. And I think it was more about opulent, rich, edgy, and decadent. I think these was the four words we wanted as a base for what we have to create.
Yeah, I want to get into the specific characters, but I understand that hair and makeup in ancient Rome were so important, and you could differentiate between social status and profession, like you were saying. What kind of research did you do in preparation?
Well, we started with, of course, the classic Roman base. So, Villa dei Misteri of Pompeii, that was something we really followed through. But then we want to give our own twist to that, and we didn't want to be too academic. This is the thing, because when you have the culture and you know what you're talking about, I think then you can move forward and do something different and give your own kind of tone about what's going on. And I think then we went very much into Satyricon a lot. That was a big influence. As you know, like we're Italians, and Satyricon from Fellini for us is like
it's some milestone
yeah, exactly.
For a certain type
for
of
a certain
images,
thing, and so that was quite a big influence on us. Of course, with our own taking on that, and then we want to go even a little bit more edgy with the emperors, so it was a little bit of Johnny Rotten, a little bit of Sex Pistol situation there. So it was good fun because it was mixing all these three elements together, and then you have Gladiator 2, which I think is quite unique vision. It's not the classic, as I say, academic Roman movie.
Caracalla and Dieta specifically, I want to talk about. They're just stunning. Talk about Caracalla and the sort of thought or process about this particular emperor.
Well, of course, the linking point was about to make them look twins, was about the hair color of the wigs Giuliano made for them. So that was very important.
There was because there was a lot of work on the coloring to find the right type of red, that
little strawberry red.
This type. Strawberry red that in the same time, we trying to find something that was a good match for their skin as well, because that's another thing very important for us, to have a good look, but in the same way something that fits well the actor that is wearing, the makeup on hair in this case, and it was nice to see them with the same color. But with different style of the hair, because you can see Geta Joe that is more typical like Roman style, so going forward with the waves and everything, and instead Caracalla Fred it was more kind of punky style, so more spiky. Mold was playing a lot with hair, you know, and it was very nice. At the end, we were very pleased with the result of the whole look.
Yeah,
like,
because a collaboration, like Giuliano said, of course you have to find the right red. It's gonna fit the makeup base they have, you know. And I really want to go very pale on them, almost like a ghosty, translucent white, and. So it was important for Joe to find like a good shade was matching the kind of skin tone because it was quite particular. And
yes, remember we started with a kind of red that was actually a little bit too strong.
Yes.
Going, you know, with the makeup that we wanted to. So at the end, you know, we need to coloring again and find, you know, the right shade that was a good match.
Together,
overall together, because of course we always look at the whole image.
The very pale skin on the emperors, was that sort of to symbolize the higher social status, that they didn't they stay inside a lot?
Well, not really, because the thing like at the time, you know, makeup was actually a tool which the people in power, they used to use. So it was more a tool for them to actually distinguish themselves for their position. In about like Caracalla was more because, of course, he in the story he has a little bit of kind of sign of old acne in his skin. So he used to wear more like an armor, more to cover the bad skin. And with him, I went more kind of soft, with more like kind of pinkish, you know, cheeks, and there was more like. I would say I was looking a lot about the Orientalist painters, so more like a soft, that was my vision for him. And for Gaeta was more about be vain and be wearing makeup because he was in power. It was like, you know, actually showed the fact he was the one. So although they were a similar kind of makeup, they were in a totally different way, in a totally different kind of vibe. And this is something interesting during the story, especially when there is the fight between Marco Arcatius and Lucius. We really went for it because I really want Gaeta almost to look in trance when that happens. So we make these eyes really, really black with a lot of red under his eyes. And he had to look like makeup, but in a beautiful way. So that was the goal, to find the right balance. And especially for the shade, I was really thinking about those kind of ghosty skin base you can see on those painting of Caravaggio. So it's a kind of very whitey, ghosty, but translucent. So that was very important to find the right base.
Almost marble-ish.
Exactly.
Yeah. What about the gladiators then, on the other side? What was the process there?
Well, like, you know, especially about Lucius, you know, he has a fantastic and beautiful Roman profile, and he's gorgeous, but
Paul
but he's very much Irish. So he's translucent pale naturally. So with Paul, we have to make him look more like Roman, and I really want him to don't have like a pretty tan. I want him to have like a rough tan, like more like deep and more like reddish. Although it wasn't the easiest route, I decided to go with body makeup instead of spray tan, because I thought I could control exactly which color I wanted on him. And so he was a lot of body makeup, lots of tattoo cover, a lot of scar, a lot of wounds, a lot of blood, lots of planning, because he has like 5 different fights. So I have to be sure exactly what I was going in each fight, and be sure I was going to repeat myself, and be sure that at the end of the movie I was going to end up with the look I wanted, because we don't shoot in continuity. So I have to plan everything I had, so I knew exactly how it was going to look for the ending scene, because for me that was very important. So lots of planning. And the elements that were totally against us, because it was so hot. It was 40 degrees, really hot. We were playing
That must have been good body makeup to survive.
Well, was a lot of work.
A lot of work
on set.
Of
So it
course.
was, we did the movie on set, not in the makeup chair in the morning. So, we prepped them, of course, in the trailer, but then we have to be sure that we're looking perfect 100% all day long on set. So we had an amazing team with us, people working, endless time and being very focused. And it's quite well known, Ridley, to work with so many cameras. How many takes it does?
12,
Maybe
12
one or
cameras.
two.
A couple of takes maximum, so you really need to make it right at first, because sometimes you don't have even the chance to
You don't have
adjust
second
it, because
chance.
maybe one take is good, that's it.
Yes.
And
That's it,
let's move on. So,
Yes.
and there was a lot of research as well, because with products, because starting, we start shooting in Morocco with a weather that was super hot, but very dusty
And dry.
windy and dry.
Yeah.
And then we go to Malta. We went to Malta, which was still very hot, but humid as well.
Yeah.
So we kind of had to
Readjust.
fight the element, so adjust the
Wow.
products and stuff to match, of course, what we shoot already, and at the same time keep the actors looking good and right,
Yes.
more than good, like a right, so real.
There were 80 tents dedicated to hair
Was
and makeup
huge.
and count. How many extras were you working on?
Between 700 and a
1,000
thousand every day.
Every day.
And
Oh
we
my
have
God.
we have I think around 80, 90 makeup and hair people just for the crowd from all over Europe, like England, Ireland, Spain, Germany, Italy, from everywhere.
Everywhere.
And that was actually the beauty of the job, to be honest with you, because it was so beautiful to see all these people coming from totally different kind of country with a totally different background working together. I mean, we started off in Morocco when we did the Namibia part, and we had this incredible team from Morocco. So it was beautiful to see everybody to be so excited and enthusiastic to be part of this project, that everyone really worked so hard. Like, Juliana and I, we used to be on set all day, and then used to go to the crowd tents to show them the looks for the different, different kind of acts, like,
The different character of them.
yeah,
so,
like, the poor people, the slave, the patrician, and used to spend time with them to show them, what we wanted, how we wanted. It was beautiful. It was those long hours.
A community.
Oh, it was
Yeah.
incredible. It was really, really incredible. Yes. Because, those people, they used to wake up like, 3 o'clock in the morning, working like, I think the prep was like around 4 hours, 5 hours in the morning. Was a lot, but everybody, they were so enthusiastic about what they were doing. It was such an incredible vibe on set.
And I think, you can see this in the movie, because it's, there was such a care, for every single extra, and actors, of course,
Yes.
but even for the extras, they were like, working very hard on set, which is...
Lastly, ask you about Denzel Washington, because he does so much amazing work with his character. I mean, just flamboyant, and it's chewing the scenery. What were your thoughts about Macrinus, and how did you build him up?
Well, it was more about like, we didn't want to give away too much about his story. So although we went like full on with the rest of the other character, we want to keep him quite, a mystery in a way. So we decided to use basically his own facial hair, but bring up more his gray, and same thing with his hair. But the key point was he have to look always like very manicured, like very look after. So his hands, they have to look perfect, so he can play with his rings, and his skin tone have to look great. So it was about the fact very neat and very in control.
Very in control.
Very in control about
Yeah.
himself. So that was the approach. It was, really lovely to work with him. It was really good fun. So.
They want me to wrap up. It was such a pleasure to talk to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
for
much.
this. It was
Thank you.
Thank you
amazing
for your
to-
time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye. Ciao.
Bye.
Ciao.
Ciao.